travelers. I'm Micah.
And I'm Simon. In this episode, we make our way down to Koreatown to a famous Korean barbecue shop called Ahgassi Gopchang. We are here back in Los Angeles as well.
Yeah, Simon, this is very, very popular restaurant in Koreatown, or otherwise known as K-Town. And we've been here before, and I'm glad we're coming back.
Yeah, Micah, I completely agree. This is one of my favorite KBBQ shops, or Gopchang specifically. That's something that they're famous for. They actually, every time we come here, there's always just a huge line, and there's no reservations. So definitely it's a walk-in. But if you do try it, definitely allocate time for waiting because there's quite a bit of people who are excited to come eat over here.
Yeah, definitely make time for this one. You will be waiting at least an hour, maybe longer, depending on how big your party is. So their operation hours is Monday to Sunday. Monday to Friday, they're open at 5 p.m. to roughly 12 or 1 a.m. So it is a later night type of restaurant. And Saturday, Sundays, they're actually open earlier, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. And one thing I really, really like with this restaurant is how they cook the food for you, and they constantly change out the grills. I hate when you go to a barbecue restaurant a KBBQ restaurant, and they use the same grill over and over again, and then everything gets super dark.
Yeah, Micah, I completely agree with you there. They're very good at kind of watching you as you're going through, and they do definitely. That's one of the things that kind of stood out was the service. They walk by, they watch, they'll prepare, and they'll cook the meats for you, cut everything up to make it nice bite-sized pieces, and of course, as you mentioned, make sure that it's cooked on a nice clean grill to get just that nice cook and char on it, rather than having that excessive ingredients that have kind of came off of whatever meats that you've been eating and just stuck on the grill, and then having that be connected onto your meats. And so that's definitely something I appreciate.
Yeah, and I don't know if I mentioned already, but they do change it after every single meat, so it's changed constantly. And throughout the video, you'll see that too. There will be some meats left behind, but they'll move it over to a new grill. And another thing I really like is the exhaust system. So you don't really smell like Korean barbecue when you're done. I think the exhaust fan or the hood is really, really good here.
I'm partially agreeing with you on that one, Micah. You do get the smell, so if you are somebody who goes and eats BBQ, you do come out smelling like KBBQ, but with their vent system, it does help to reduce the amount. So there's other times where they didn't have that system that definitely makes it so all the smoke and everything will stick to your clothes, and you'll kind of bring that smell back home. But as you see in the video, you'll see that one of the reasons why the place is so popular as well is that the kind of the international K-pop superstars, BTS, this is actually one of their favorite places to go to, which is also one of the reasons why we also came to kind of mirror their foodie footsteps as well. But at the same time, we do really enjoy it. And for me personally, it's actually one of my favorite places for Gopchang, which is the Intestine. And for me, just the different places I've been, Micah, I just have not been able to find something that kind of matches the quality here other than in Korea, South Korea itself. So that's why I was really excited that when we came back down to LA, that we were able to come here and visit.
Yeah, I agree, Simon. Definitely one of the better places for the beef intestines, and the way they cook it and prepare everything, they get a nice crispy exterior and a really nice creamy center there, and definitely one of the better places around that mix this. And what were some of the items that you remember that we ordered?
We did have the Yang Daechang combo, and that included the beef mountain tripe, beef large intestines, beef abamasum, and also whole garlic, which if you've never tried before, it's actually pretty nice to get some grilled garlic and eat that with the the meats itself. So definitely something to consider if you've never tried. I know we ordered some few more dishes, Micah. We had quite a bit of food.
Yeah, I remember some of the other things that we got was the seared pork belly and also the beef ribeye there. And as you see here, there's actually quite a bit of stuff on the table, and a lot of the side dishes, otherwise known as the banchan, which is included in as part of this meal. So the moment you're sit it down, it's already there on the table, which is really nice.
And to kind of go back on that banchan, Micah, we did an episode in Las Vegas where we visited a place called Best Friend. And if you want to see that episode, you can check the link in the description box below. But banchan is one of those things where it's given out for free generally. So when we were there in Las Vegas at the other restaurant, we were surprised that it was part of a chef meal, and it was included, so you kind of had to pay for it, which was kind of odd. It was just something that kind of threw me back when we were there, because it was something I've never encountered before until then.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Simon. That was definitely a new experience. Maybe it's the Vegas experience where everything just costs extra, and extra is not free in Vegas, of course. But yeah, usually the banchan and the side dishes, they're different in different restaurants. So sometimes a lot of times you have like kimchi, and you have the egg dishes and other vegetables and bean sprouts and such. But it really depends where you're going, and depending how they prepare it, some of it is actually really, really good, and some of it, it's just okay.
Well, overall, my impression, of course, is you generally get it for free. But in the case in Las Vegas, it wasn't. In this case here at Aghassi, it was included, and they do provide quite a bit of different banchan, so that was very, very nice, and also one of the reasons why I really do enjoy this restaurant. And of course, Micah, with barbecue and everything else, you might have seen some of the shots earlier, but we did have soju with this, which in my opinion is always a must. You have to have beer or soju with KBBQ. It just completes everything.
I totally agree, and yeah, definitely get this soju. And if they do have, one thing I do miss is the rice wine that they have. What was that thing called, Simon?
Yeah, it's a vinegar soju. So essentially it's a flavored vinegar, usually some kind of berry flavor, and they mix it in with the soju, and it just kind of, if you're not familiar with soju itself, when you drink it by itself, it either has they say it has either a sweet flavor or a bitter flavor depending on your mood. But by adding anything else to it, it really just takes over whatever the flavor or something else is. And in the case of the berry flavored vinegar, in my mind, or at least this is how I always approach it, once it's mixed with it, it just turns into candy. So you're just drinking candy. The soju flavor itself kind of dissipates, and you kind of taste the berry, and it just becomes a drinkable candy.
And as sweet as soju is, if you've never had it before, please prepare yourself, especially if you have more than a couple bottles, because it may all hit you all at once a couple hours later, and it may not be so much fun the next day.
Yeah, definitely something to note. It's something that kind of takes effect much later in the day after you've drank the soju, so be careful with that. But as well, just enjoy it with your meal, and make sure you have a nice full belly as you're going through and having those drinks. But definitely when we were here, Micah, it brought me a lot of memories back of when we did visit South Korea back in 2019, and it was just very pleasant food memory, and just made me really enjoy and appreciate, after everything that's happened with the world, that these kind of little small things, which in this case is just eating good food, definitely gives you an appreciation for it.
Yeah, I totally agree, Simon. This definitely bring back good memories from when we were in Korea, and definitely hope in the future we can go back there and relive some of those great memories. And definitely hope this restaurant continues to grow and continues to stay afloat despite everything that's happened.
And as we kind of go through and complete our meal, like I said, you'll see the little chunks where the staff has cut everything up. Nice bite-sized pieces. So definitely it's much more relaxing. There are barbecue shops where you do end up cooking everything yourself, and so it adds a little more pressure as you gotta kind of have to watch everything, make sure nothing burns. But in this case, you don't have to. It's a nice, delicious, much more relaxing KBBQ experience that I definitely recommend anybody to go, especially if you're following in the foodie footsteps of K-pop royalty.
And to ending the video here, you see that we're walking in the parking lot, and just note that the restaurant entrance is actually in the parking lot. So you as you saw earlier in the video, walk around the building and head to the parking lot, and also be careful of the cars too if you are going the opposite direction. But definitely one of our favorite restaurants here. I'll definitely be coming back here in the future.
And as we do with every episode, we finish it off with our notable. And for this notable at Ahgassi Gopchang is the gopchang itself, a deliciously cut piece of meat that has a nice savory sweet flavor, dipped in any various sauces. Is so delicious that definitely a recommendation that you do come for some KBBQ, come over here and try this out. If you've enjoyed the content you've seen, don't forget to support the channel and hit like and subscribe. And if you want to see additional pictures of food and our travels, go over to our Instagram page and follow us there. And thanks for watching.